These are two teams clashing. It was really hard to predict this. Just TSM proven from last season. And then this rebuild, though, M80, you heard from Roy just how structured, how much of a well-oiled machine they look. It's 3-on-2 now in pistol for TSM. They are a little bit split. They are established on site, and Weeded lurks in the shadows, and Bao won't be able to join him in this case, but it's really coming down to the remnants of both teams. Now with Spike planted, it's just Weeded with the right click. It's the convergence.
They decide not to fall through with it. Recoil is the only player on this point. They find the one, but get traded out immediately.
And rotations were pulled to the B side because of all that utility that was used and the salvos, the noise. M80 are stacked on left side. This A side of the map completely open. So the showstopper was looking for maybe he would leave at least one person to defend the site. TSM weren't expecting this to be free. And with that opening pick, it gets even easier for TSM now up a member.
Slow for them, right? Now maybe he's going to be down players and numbers. Stuns to come through, it's over.
Feeling like that. It's just B-Dog. M80, though, they bring the numbers down. They're not getting flawless. It comes down to a 1 or maybe 2 member difference. Like M80 are playing very slow, like you said. Already takes some damage. Has to worry about this breach. Dodges the fault line. Goes 1 for 1. And mainly is marking the enemy behind.
M80 have been doing this. They've been fighting out of aim A, and it's just a little quieter this time. So Recoil expects it. They're aware. And the 1 for 1 favoring TSM now.
Right there.
TSM comfortable.
30 seconds left.
You know exactly where M80 are coming from. Of course, you're going to have GMD at the bottom side, checking if that flank was going to follow through. Now M80 have to retake as a team. They won't have the Rolling Thunder available. The Showstopper makes no connection. Okeano's 5 HP from about to drop his op. Needs to just live out this round. TSM, though, they're losing numbers. And M80, they really got to go in with confidence. And off the flash, beautiful play from 7, but it's B-Dog that gets the last laugh.
Going down, installing the spike and the timer.
Oh, nice shot. Yeah, Okeanos on the off angle is able to go for a safe peek after that orbital strike. And now Caillou with the Rolling Thunder, another retake option, and Okeanos still brings the energy for this squad. There's the Rolling Thunder. TSM backs against the wall, pushed physically and morally just out of this round. And M80 with back-to-back.
Into main, potentially.
Oh, and Okeanos with these early peaks has been huge. And another one is able to satchel away. Yes, he gets stunned, but here is the whole squad. And TSM pretty angry, and they want to chase this op down while also being careful of, well, not feeding the beast anymore. Okeanos won off the showstopper. TSM have really started to have met their match after that timeout. Okeanos, that beanie is going to be dropping pretty soon. Or toque, as the Canadians would say. And yep, Recoil down and more to come. The Death Note open like he's gotten 3Ks because he just keeps repeaking. You never expect an op to look again. And look, he's challenging a tiny hallway. With an op, with a shotgun, the 3rd peak. Finally, someone punishes Okeanos and doesn't let him multi-kill again. TSM, though, it's still an uphill battle. It's 2v4.
I mean, Lemon, I'm just here thinking to myself, we're going back arcade. It's like a literal slot machine where we're just consistently going in to try and play this game, and it's not working. Okeanos is just popping off against them. It's hard to say it, but like they try. I see what they try to do, right? They use a lot of utility to flush out Okeanos. So once they found that raid boss, they had the supportive fire to send their, DPS in. I'm changing this all into different terminology, but at the end of the day, I saw the vision. It just didn't work.
Okeanos really is damage per second, though. Like, that's what he does. He delivers. 1v3, though, for Vor. That new player, Salvos, force him forward. And mainly just taking quick steps, getting information. Now he's been spotted on the offense to clear the site, and they could try to follow through. And TSM with an opening pick. It's a Rolling Thunder right at the front door, and a special delivery from the defense. Sim can't get out. It's perfect from M80, but it's the picks. Once GMD made it into the site, M80 were distracted trying to capitalize off of their own ults. They forgot about the rat that made it through. And TSM just have to thank GMD for all of that. It is a 1v3 with the op for Okeanos. Look at the setup from TSM. They got a crossfire, and GMD takes with great delay off the boom button. He challenges that again. Okeanos with the asylum level ability plays, I should say. And TSM get the punish. But M80's wall has been built up. Time delayed there from Okeanos for M80's reinforcements to reestablish, and the spike has been left behind, and Recoil's in a 1v3.
Q? Caillou? Dang. Captain leading the charge here for them. Recoil picking up another, so they have some momentum to go through, but Q popping off for the team here.
It's crunch time. And Recoil doesn't have time to go anywhere else. Is going to try to take safety from the corner. The Aftershock is going to force them out, and Bao, all the pins are lined up. M80 have definitely ruffled the feathers of TSM, and the one and done from Sim is gross in that moment. He is a scary duelist to go up against.
I mean, pistol starts, and this is all going to be for TSM, right? If they can pick this up, they can get themselves 7-7, the ones that they lost. But at this point, they're going to have to trust in their A retake. And I said at the beginning, right? They're leaving A for it. Let's see how it goes. The paint shell pops to delay, and setup looks nice.
What a nade! Against Caillou there in the corner. And this is all numbers all day for TSM. Retake ensues, but the salvos placed by Weeded, drawing them into this close quarters fight. But Weeded is ready to lock in, and at the off angle, B-Dog assists. It's 2v1 with just GMD, who's on the defuse. Did they hear it? They did, but he's gonna stick it at TSM!
Of timing? No, if Weeded's there, the sun is as well.
The fault line. Uh-oh. TSM, they're just sandwiching M80. We're trying to wrap around. GMD has been on 1-2 today, but it's the chemistry from M80 that claps back. So the multi-kills from GMD were able to get themselves to a 2v2, but the spike is traveling to the other side of the world, and they're pivoting to A. 13 seconds left.
They're gonna have to get that plant. They don't have the speed boost from B-Dog to give yourself a boost, but unfortunately, for the side of TSM, the plant goes down. A split to come through and a rocket to be popped.
Sim ready to challenge anything, and the 360 rocket doesn't happen this time, but now you know where Bao is, and that's info that Recoil can work with. And where did that flash come from? I don't know, but let's try to draw them towards you. Right into the outlaw there. And now knows where this last player is. Had to drop from the high ground. Recoil needs to take care of business very soon. Time is running out. Has to reload, and what a dance.
Is it? But they have so much space up here already. Is Recoil to be aware of this? The double, the triple up? I mean, they get one and done, no? It's over.
At least TSM, after they lost GMD so early, who made the call they were extending out of the side, TSM were all posted up, ready to retaliate, ready to catch M80 overextending. And it's TSM that just couldn't win those duels. And it's just M80 ready for anything around the corner. At least TSM could have numbers against, but TSM are gonna waste no time putting the pressure on M80 and the orbital strike. Like M80 haven't even had a thought yet, and TSM are raining it down on him. Four with 3 that round.
Armageddon in hand.
Oh, now M80 are ready to make some noise, and they had the drone so early because of those forward smokes from GMD, so they've lost all confidence in A.
Are they giving okay?
Now they pivoted to B. GMD will make sure that A will not be touched, but the hit is there, and TSM have 2 around the corner, and it's B-Dog that already denies 1. It's Vora. There it is to drown out those corners that M80 could be sitting in. Retake ensues for TSM, still looking for targets. Now swinging out of smoke, M80 have completely left the building. And now with an orbital strike, B-Dog is gonna deny a chance at a defuse for now, but there's still more delay to be done. And that's the molly right on the spike. The defuse is halfway, and TSM know they have to fight through this. And we did the damage is initially done to 7, but we did that 32. The spike's gonna be touched. We did. Waits for the timing and finds 7 on his lining for TSM. They got 2 ults out on their eco from M80. Now it's just a showstopper, and TSM took advantage of M80 funneling in, caught him at off angles, but still a spike planted. Flank activated there by TSM, but I think the Vice Wall may have isolated some for a little while, and TSM are free, but that was really good delay from the Vice, and now they got the op position, the rest of TSM surrounding them. This flank was like...
There it is.
Great pick. That's like that Okeanos impression from last time. Speaking of which, oh, 1 HP and a dream that's gonna die. Oh my God, standing and delivering recoil on the high ground. Really kills this round for M80.
Yep.
4 versus 2, and as soon as TSM had weapons and got rid of 2 really key ultimates from M80 during that save, TSM have been able to get back on their feet.
They go into what felt like a small sort of like split default, and unfortunately just lose out in the fights. TSM being beyond cognizant, just being prepared for it. A timeout really helping them out, not only on the mental side of things, but also with just their strategies calls, right? Like the calling seems to be a lot cleaner. And it's a save here, I believe, for M80. I mean, they haven't really done much. Want to set up Okeanos for success.
Yeah, Okeanos is like, oh, they salvo here. They'll never expect me to push up here. And guess what? TSM are just more aware. 4 versus 2, and you still got an op. You're able to save the showstopper. TSM, the patience paying off, but it's not over yet. The fight continues after that pick from We Did. And this spike still has to get planted, but they've sussed out someone on this high ground, and they're gonna use the orbital strike against the showstopper. Oh, Sim sticks it where the sun don't shine and puts B-Dog to bed. The spike is down 2, and that is the risk that did not pay off for M80. Now We Did has to go and recover it in a 1v3. And this was a round that felt, oh, much closer than it is now.
By far. Have to slog through bind, and a rare whiff.
Very rare, and to shut down that op, to shut down Sim is everything for M80. Keep in mind, M80 haven't dropped a map, and they've only had 1 map that's been even close. And Val, with mollies and even their breach still alive, TSM can just play the waiting game, and M80 are done doing that. They challenge. 7 shuts down 2. Orbital strike, or sorry, rolling thunder from 7 to push away M80's.
I was gonna say also the utility there. Immediately after.
These isolations are not good for TSM. M80 just taking skulls 1 by 1. Anywhere they step, it's territory of M80 now, and the spike is planted. Sim, a 2 versus 5 with an op, does not get the pick he was hoping for. And Sim has already revealed his position, and everyone from M80. Spike will be planted. Here comes M80 from the offensive spawn, and gatekeeping is GMD, and he has an important job. He's gonna try and hold back, delay with the molly. He's got Vora on off angle, and right behind his recoil, so they don't stack together. Get blown up by a fault line or something. Either way, M80. Oh, it's some good shots, but better out of TSM. The teamwork, the setup. M80 caught off guard. And it's TSM with possibly another attacking round under their belt.
Round 16, 17, they popped the orbital strike. They managed to pressure from both sides, but M80 reacting way differently.
All TSM are trying to retake, but already being down is rough. But M80, the job is not done. You just saw the breach, the fault line come out of the site where the spike is planted. So TSM try to search for the last members. They know B-Dog won't, or Caillou won't challenge. And there's Caillou popping out as soon as his teammates make the call. Great calms out of M80, pressuring M80 back. Now popping out on the flank. It's going to be up to Recoil to keep them in check. And now TSM have 3 set up at this front door. And it's B-Dog and Friend trying to make their mark. And TSM, just once they're established, these post plants are insane. 1v3 for B-Dog, though. Or until it'll be another offensive round 1. And there it is for TSM. TSM are almost using Sim as bait. M80 heard how close that was. They're trying to go for a vault line or something to shake up that duelist. But TSM had 2 on the off angle to help Sim out. That results in a first pick for the defense, but still a successful plant somehow for M80, who wrapped all the way around across the map. Now here we go. We have Okeanos standing at the top. King of the hill against Sim. Smokes in place. TSM, though, have a lane to push through. And it's unobscure. Bao at the open angle. Shut down by 7. Bao just stared in defeat. And this could be TSM closing out the map. Finally, a defense that could be successful. No. Molly on the high ground. The spike halfway. 2v2. Vora in the middle of the chaos picks up 1. The defuse about to be completed. And Caillou could not prevent it. TSM take the first map win against M80. Sentinel play has been really good at the delays. It'll be on the A side, though. Meanwhile, TSM have just paved the way towards B. But on the off angle is Okeanos. And we've only seen Azure on Abyss and Pearl. This is his best secondary. And now he's kind of smoked off the site. M80 want to pull rotations from the opposite and just have everybody in place before we did. I guess off salvos has already found Sim. So TSM have their backs against the wall. Quick peek, quick headshot out of Vora. And more salvos to stop M80's entry, to allow Vora to cross over to a different angle. Or your flash gives some space for M80 as they start to surround the middle box, and they'll trade against TSM. But time is running out. Spike tapped, draws in TSM's fire. And now 1 on the other side of the box. It's just a matter of time before TSM finish off that player, but they waited, they hesitated. And for what? 7 now has to clutch the 1v2, and he can't. And Okeanos won't have time to defuse. That came down to the wire. And that's what we did exactly before, just hiding in smokes and popping out when TSM have a sense of security. But Okeanos has had free reign of the map, gets a first pick. He's punished once TSM hunt him down, and with Viper walls up, M80 are obscured from this spike being planted, but they could pop out and surprise them at any moment.
With this retake, the difference is you have Bao towards Hookah. Timings, though, so clean.
The timings of not fully waiting for reinforcements.
Wow. For TSM on the attack, it falls apart on the site.
And B-Dog just got fault lined away, so if TSM and Showers use util, surely this Tail player turns around. Weeded has a chance. It's still alive.
I mean, it's Weeded.
Of course it is, but then there's the army of TSM and a chance of their fans somewhere in the world. Gives them the energy to pull through, but only by 1. And with this deadlock wall that was thrown from Showers, it's making it painful. It will force M80 to take heaven control. They're on opposite ends of each other, too. Caillou's gonna have to push through Showers and through mid.
M80 on the retake, they don't have much to work with. They do, I mean, play to contain here to some degree would be nice. But the TP's just right there, so doesn't even matter. Gonna go for a save on Bao, and
it's B-Dog. But the Bucky is still gonna hurt whether you know it's there or not. And there is a good spam from Weeded, sussing out Recoil. Good comms for TSM, and Spike is planted. Here's a retake from M80. Still have good weaponry. And they still have B-Dog lurking around with the Bucky at close range, and with the smokes, you can create these close quarter scenarios. And with the Rolling Thunder, TSM try to stress M80. Now the spike will get halfway, and 7 can't do anything about it, so M80 will keep things close. All the noise was made, followed through at A, and still won the round playing this kind of cat and mouse game. And Weeded continues to just be an absolute menace at B. If I was TSM, I would never touch B again. This guy is terrifying. And recoils down to 1 HP, and even through the Yoru clone. I mean, what a setup there from Okeanos.
And now you just have 3 players down towards long. They want to exec to some degree, but there's so much stall utility here. If they TP, you have Okeanos, who's just holding down showers. You don't have that same security with recoil.
Losing Sim, it's how do you try to burst into his site with all the Viper smokes and all the hell that there is without him? Left. Well, there's your sheer gunfire, but 7 in a 1v3, like.
In this time, especially with a tense situation of 3-3, makes sense. Off-bound for Okeanos.
Oh, the aftershock, and Okeanos hesitates if he was going to take damage from that or not. This is a safer position for the op anyway. Already pressuring him back. We did. He's going to try and swing with him. No, it's the dimensional drift. He can't get through them, get behind them, I guess. And off the flash in the middle of 3 players is just causing a lot of stress on TSM. It didn't actually want to pull the trigger.
Full info on 3, but the last one's still lagging behind. GMD's not there.
Oh, then the molly. This is so cooked. TSM, they're just trying to take everybody down with them. M80, now salvos are stopping them from getting on the spike, and it's not even halfway. And yeah, they've run out of time. Officially, Bao has to leave the scene of the crime, and TSM get away with it.
Deadlock can also grab a player out of thin air.
Wait, Sim, wow. What a diff there.
We done.
Holy, he's so crazy when he swings in. Especially against someone pre-aiming, and it's just an all-out scrap through main. M80 close. TSM get through the smoke, they get the spike, and it's just Bao in the 1v4 with a judge, a pit, and now nothing. Grab orb, now you got 3 ults to work with, and this is the flank, the mid flank that Bao has done in that previous round, so this time it catches recoil, it was isolated.
And the combo of Deadlock Tejo has been so crucial for M80, and when they find and capture Sim here, it seems like, yeah, that was the main point down.
Yeah, we did is so good with these salvos, and okay, the orbital strike was a lot. But it's pretty extended in, and there's only one place this Viper could be sitting in. And Sim sussed it out, denies the pit, and there's the Armageddon from the defense, from Weeded, to stop the immediate entry. But Sim turns and burns before M80 could get any sense of security, before M80 thought they could have map control off the Armageddon. TSM off these swings are so mechanical, and you gotta thank Sim for that. Now they've got more than enough to get this round done.
Symposium of bullets flying into the faces of their enemies.
The wall going up and down to see if TSM are going to be caught out in the open. Some info, the grab that is going to limit TSM's entry and actually isolates him away from his team, and GMD falls in the process. Now you make sounds, and oh, it's the Yoru clone, and you still don't even know where this op is, and Okeanos is smoked off from his team, so it's a bit disjointed from M80. But they did catch TSM at the heel, but only by 1. They did damage, but not enough kills. As this M80 retake is gonna rely on the flanks, and it's B-Dog that'll get back into the fight with the ult. And with the annihilation that secures.
There's only 2 players on here. It's just stall out of TSM. What?
Wait, recoil with the headshots? Ooh. Clean stuff, and now that means I thought they were gonna go for the plan with all the smokes in place, and I think they heard salvos from Vora and got a little scared, and then they go to exploit where did those salvos come from, and they met some competition on the other side. 2v2. It's coming down to the last few members, just like the last pistol, and it's Vora that has some info util to use. Okeanos and B-Dog are just going to be at arm's length, able to crossfire and trade if needed, while also needing to be in vision of the spike, and that'll be Okeanos' job. Now spotting one from U-Haul, 7 wrapped all the way around, and B-Dog is just out in the open.
An SMG of their own, same thing with Vora. JMD with the head tap potential, but Sim getting overzealous early.
Yeah, Sim's tried to activate, and sometimes for TSM, at least that 3-man core from last season, Sim has been the one that's had to salvage TSM before. This time he'll be missing and more dominoes fall for TSM, but good for M80 and their chances to close the gap in the scoreline. Now feeling like the site is going to be a lot weaker without this deadlock, so M80's just try to be a little bit more prepared to the pre-aim of this defense, especially someone like Seven that popped out.
Okeanos gets great amount of info on the front of site. Going a touch deeper for TSM.
Oh, his timer ran out. He's a little bit closer than he expected, and this sent his Euroclone up to the front door and through the smoke to flash them and cause even more delay. TSM is very limited at the front door, and M80 are forward. They got Spike planted. Now they can try to take care of Elbow, and it's off the drone. It's off M80 with a lot more of just a better plan of their approach to B and not hesitating. The Spike is heading that direction too. It all depends on how this exchange into U-Haul goes. And it's 1-for-1. Site getting weaker. TSM only have one there, and it's GMD.
30 seconds
And he
left.
pops out of the smoke to surprise the Spike here. Goes 1-for-1. There's the annihilation from Recoil. Looking for that member in U-Haul. This M80 scrap away. And it's just up to We Did. And how they push this corner, but you got sort of a high-low, at least a double up. And there's the exchange, and it favors M80. And now they've taken care of those defenders, and they feel like they can go for a plan, especially with that deadlock wall right at the front door. But an orbital strike from TSM denies that plan opportunity, giving a few more seconds for TSM to get around this deadlock util. And they're taking their sweet time dismantling it, and especially with the Viper Molly from Bao, TSM are taking unnecessary damage. Somehow still winning duels, though. B-Dog tried to challenge 1v3 in that hallway. He gets shut down. But this is necessary time for M80 to kill. So they could win off of that. Then Sim, I mean, had crumbs of HP left. Can't do anything about that. But this builds a front for TSM to ring around the Rosie on the box and 11 HP. Just how much damage they took from mollies being thrown. And look at this. Okeanos shut down TSM on the run. And oh, the carpet bomb went too. You almost never see the Armageddon kill anything. We Did is just the GOAT. And this will allow them to plant a TSM, a 3-versus-4 retake. Sim with the molly, flushes out one, showstopper. And he's ready to put a stop to this offense, but can't find anyone. It's hide and go seek. And the annihilation from Marie. Oh no, is that from, it was from Caillou actually. And now, it's 2v2. That kill would be confirmed there by Caillou, leaving GMD to tap the Spike, to draw out, to isolate this 1v1, but had no health. And Bao, like, who peeks that? And it's Okeanos. This is going to be the answer every time. And B-Dog closed out. Here's the Armageddon from M80 to flush out, or no, not from M80, TSM to stop the elbow push from M80. Now there's some delay created. Hookah control, main control, all up to Vora at the back, and now Sim with the op in place. Rotations coming from A. M80 gotta figure out how to pressure this up, but it's the orbital strike as into Hookah. And TSM just tripped up M80 with everything in the playbook, and it's just We Did left in a 1v4.
Stalling out the point as much as possible. And match point to be attained here. The hurdle of the double digits not found for M80. Vora.
Save last round. He has an SMG to work with, which, depending on where it is, couldn't be too bad. You got the Rolling Thunder, and here's the push from Seven. TSM want to put a bow on top of this series and this map, but M80 won't go down without a fight. They try to bark back. They will not go down with a whimper. It is the Spike going down. GMD has a chance to punish, and even the Spike carry had stopped. And anticipating that, and the pit could have come out earlier from Bao to maybe protect the carrier. And now the pit's not going to be used at all. They're going to take the Spike elsewhere. 1v2, definitely possible from Bao, although they are being slowed.
I was to say no utility though. All the utility towards the A sites. It's going to be about the gunplay. Unsure of the positioning though. They're split up here. This is very doable.
Oh, not the back.
Like this.
And TSM have done it. Not just giving M80 their first map loss, but their entire series loss in Challengers here in week